again, and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and with me I have Noodles and Company. What's going on there, Noodles?
What's happening, guys?
We got a decent show. Yeah, America, everybody all around. What's going on as far as with these bond and capital markets here? We got a nasty chart and some bad charts to follow forward as far as what's happening out there, Noodles. I don't think this is a happy show today or anything like that for sure.
No, there's no happy shows, not for a while.
No, this show today, and especially this chart that I have in front of you that we're sharing today, you're going to want to share this with all your politicians and things like that and tell them why, how we got there with that lone dot at the top there for 2022. Do you know what we're looking at here? I'm sorry?
Representing trillions of dollars missing, lost.
Yeah, this is lost value. This is the stock and bond capital markets for the U.S. This chart goes all the way back to 1871 on record keeping. As you can see, it's not a good looking chart. It's you have the global economy is what the Mockingbird media is trying to blame for why this is happening. They keep on telling you this, but it's actually policy by politicians that are drunk on the Kool-Aid there too much with the purse. So that's, and this goes all around. It's not one party. It's a uniparty spending piss party, and the destruction of this is all caused by spending, not the global economy, but the spending there.
We do only have one war going on after Trump, put them all to ended them all. So they're trying to make up for all the losses that they've accumulated over the Trump years, I guess.
Well, the people are suffering here, Noodles. You have 10 trillion in destruction of wiped out stocks and bond losses. The stock market and bond market is simply just getting throttled right now. It's getting destroyed. And next on the horizon, what people don't see, because right now everybody's out here, they're partying for New Year's, they're getting ready to get loaded up, they got fireworks and everything. You've got your pension markets that are going to get ready to see the next hit. And when those checks, you're going to see the politicians coming forward and saying, we better do some other kind of bill for this thing because the pension markets are about to get hit as well. We're going to go.
Years ago, the liberals said that the Republicans were going to come after our welfare and after our Medicare and Medicaid. And then, but of course, we knew it was them. Then they said not too long ago that they were going to go after our Social Security. And now it's our future.
Yeah, now this is uniparty future. They've all doubled down on this, and they are all. By the way, so do you see the one dot by itself in 2022 there?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Both stocks and bonds basically got smashed to pieces. The Nasdaq is down 30% for the year, and the Treasury yield there is 30%, just trashed right there. So the insurance policy, how you understand this chart, is the bond market, and that is obviously trending down, which we'll go to. So this chart right here, we want everybody to send this to anybody that voted for this last omnibus bill. We want you to take a screenshot of this, put this up, and send it to your local politician or your local representative and tell them how you feel, because 2023 is not going to be a good year for anybody, according to this chart. This is an economic indicator right here that things are going south. Don't worry, guys. I've got other charts as well. What do you have to add to that, Noodles, before I switch charts here for another bad chart?
Nothing. Just start squirreling away everything.
Okay.
We got oil. We got oil. I think just popped up to a little over $6 a gallon right now here in New York.
Oh, and don't you worry. When you mention oil, it's a good thing you brought that up, because your little buddy Xi in China, he's got news for the outhouse and the Biden administration. He is going to try to convert the yuan to the petrodollar instead of the U.S. petrodollar, if that makes sense. So you got a little surprise there what he was taught when he flew into Saudi Arabia and everything like that. They want to make the yuan the world currency. So that's another thing that people are totally everybody's falling asleep at the wheel because they're focused in on New Year's. They just got done with Christmas. They have no idea the financial, and this, you can't have stocks,
It's all
you
man-made.
can't have a stock show without, yeah,
It's all
you can't,
man-made.
you can't have a, yeah, it is all man-made, and you can't have a stock show unless you talk about this. You can have the happy talk with your pom-poms out and everything like that, thinking everything is good, but you have to have reality here, and this is the reality of this chart. We're going to go to a next chart to show you as well. Consumer confidence, consumer sentiment chart from the University of Michigan. It's at its lowest level post World War II in consumer confidence. It's never been lower than this.
How could it be?
So,
how can it not be that low?
So let's see what else they got here.
I just went to the store yesterday and I had like $7 on me, and I haven't shopped in probably about 2 months. And I grabbed a dozen eggs and a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi, and I had to put the Pepsi back because I had $7 on me and the eggs were 6 and change.
Yeah.
So
there was a guy in Walmart that I went to when I was by, and he's like, "Oh, prices are starting to go up so high," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, duh. Where have you been, under a rock? Haven't you been seeing how much spending?"
I was sick, I was hurting, and I'd been out of work. So my wife, Bridget, was doing all the work, all the shopping.
Yeah.
And, it's like she comes home with a couple bags and complaining about how much she spent. And, I'm not out there, so you know it, but you don't see it and you don't feel it when you're not out there,
No, it's also okay. I have the next chart up here. This is from the University of Michigan. This is consumer sentiment. Do you see the lower down? Do you see the arrow going down?
I do.
This is the lowest level post World War II level in consumer confidence.
There it is, yeah. Okay.
Confidence in consumer confidence has, and this isn't coming from any type of conservative side or anything like that. This is coming from the University of Michigan here. Okay, this is an independent study here, and consumer confidence has never been this low. I have seen several people when I go to the store, and I'm sure you guys have, where they're just pissed off that everything is so stinking high. Just pissed off. They're like, I can't believe that I'm paying this much for this item or this item. And like we said before, I'm sure when Walmart comes out with their statistics on things, you're going to see that. So what are they skipping now? Before they were skipping the gallon milk and going to the half gallon. What's in the cart analytics now there, Doodles? What do you think?
Oh, like pints and cups.
Yeah. You're gonna. What are we gonna see next? This you cannot sustain levels like this. It's not good. So it's not.
Well, I think they just recorded record low sales at Walmart for Christmas, didn't they? Because everybody's doing the Amazon thing, and
retail numbers were seriously down. Now we haven't got the full impact after returns and everything like that, and things like that, and gift card buying now. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's not going to come in anywhere higher.
I'm just wondering if people, even though they didn't buy as much, did they still spend the same amount of money? Which is, I bet you they did. Leave themselves still stock. And then they're going to be screwed when the crap hits the fan.
Yeah, and you know how the outhouse is going to spin this, Noodles, don't you?
Oh yeah.
They're going to say, look, we still made money and it was still good. Like everybody still spent money because everything's higher. They're going to take that higher price and try to fudge the numbers and get the naive people to think that the numbers are up, and they're really not. What it is it's inflated goods. Because this chart here.
The problem, it's like they always throw numbers at you. Like I've said, like the Weather Channel. Oh, this many people are going to be affected. Well, that's because they're going to, number one, they're going to hit major cities. Number two, we have record numbers of people here. How about using the percentages again and go back to the normal size of what you're actually talking about?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, like this many people are affected. Well, it's not that this many. You have, like with the flu right now, they're talking about record numbers of flu. Well, nobody got the flu in the last 3 years because COVID, was too important to die from. So nobody got the flu. Now all of a sudden there's record numbers. Well, how about they just let in 5 million extra people in the last 2 years?
Yeah.
So now, and not one of them has to be vaccinated, by the way. But
to bring that point up,
the percentage. What's that?
to bring that point up, interestingly enough, there was a proposal in this omnibus bill, but Sandy, your buddy Sandy there, Cortez, she had another. She wanted to put some high amnesty on that, and her take was is if we gave everybody amnesty, that we could lower the wages of inflation. That was the debate on Capitol Hill, is that you lower by giving
right, and then we
that,
can lower our earnings as well, because there's nobody allowed to be anybody better. So they'll either make the same money we're making for nothing, for doing nothing, or we'll have to take the hit so that we're not making more than them.
You watch though. That's what they're going to do, and then the alphabets are talking about this, and they're telegraphing what they do before it actually happens. So they're saying that if you do amnesty, you're going to bring down inflation by 0.5%. Their economists say that, but these are cooler carrying corporate media economists. Other economists that are actually true economists are saying, dude, that's not going to do freaking anything, and you're just going to freaking deep six the whole system when you do that. And then you're just going to freaking collapse everything.
And then, like you've said, and I could totally understand it. Like if everybody just stayed home for a day, and just show them what happens when we don't show up. If you do it any more than a day, all these new people will be taking our jobs in a heartbeat. And you'll be left alone. They won't give you insurance because you walked off the job, just like they did with these vaccine things. And now they're starting to get rid of the mandates. So if you look what's going on with Musk, people were repeating stuff that CDC was saying, the FDA was saying. Like me, I was repeating what Fauci was saying. And I'm being harassed because I was repeating what Fauci was saying. I ended up getting, I got permanently suspended, but here I am.
Exactly.
Here I am, still out there.
I have chart 3 as well, and I'm going to bring up that one next, and we're going to go over that, and I'll show you what we have next. Hey guys, right here we have the XLY ticker chart. This reflects consumer confidence. So this is a list, as you can see, arrows down, all the way down. This is your Amazons, your Teslas, your companies like that. So consumer confidence, as far as for this chart, not good there, Noodles. What do you have to say about that? Anything about that? People are wondering why you're getting pissed off looking at this stuff, aren't you? It's not a funny thing.
No, and I'm not even into stocks, but I'll tell you what, man, I'd start investing into anything red right now, anything patriotic that's pro-American, right? When it starts turning around, that's what's going to be left.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the way they're going and spending, people need to write.
Google's going to be taken out and rebuilt, and all your platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and all that crap, they're going to all be rebuilt.
So the next chart I have is the manufacturing price index. This trends massively down at the break point. You can see previous administrations, Obama's, Bush's, things were better than this. This is absolutely awful there, Noodles. This chart here, we're the worst in the freaking world. Let's just put it that way. Yay, us. We manufacture not much, apparently, compared to the rest of the world.
And here's another thing to look at, too. They went out and put so much money in people's pockets to stay home. Now people don't want to go back to work either. So which is it? There's no jobs.
7 million people. You got 7 million men. You got 7 million men sitting at home doing absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Allegedly, it could be more than that for all we know.
Yeah, probably. So, and then you keep the border.
Yeah, and the Mockingbird media. So they're spinning this chart right here, this actual chart. They're spinning this as the global economy. They are not saying, because they are shills for their paymasters, which is the politicians in D.C. and Washington, corporations. They are saying that this is this is based off of the world, when it's actually from spending.
Top of the blue.
Yeah, it's from it's from political spending and pissy policies that they've done over the years has brought us to this point. So that's another chart you could share with your politicians there. It's not a good thing. So it's worst in the world among all G20 countries. Read it and weep it. The charts don't lie. No matter what the alphabet media tells you, they can bring up, just because your Google machine says something doesn't mean it's all correct there. So just an FYI there. This chart here, this is the United States government bond 10-year yield right here. You can see with the effect of massive interest rates, double as the yield goes up, the price of the bond prices go down. So not tight on this level here. So basically, this is why when we Noodles, when we start the show, sometimes we're like on the red days. Remember when we're like, nowhere to run to, baby, nowhere to hide. That's the reason why, because it becomes a nowhere to run, nowhere to hide economy, because you have all these massive sectors going. And what people aren't looking at next is if this continues on to do what it's going to do, what you're going to see is the pensions get hit next. And the alphabet media doesn't want to go to that neighborhood at all, Noodles.
No. That's because most of the people that those pensions are for are the people that are voting possibly the last of the liberals, Democratic normals, and you don't want to screw them up because they'll help us steal an election back.
So every politician that signed that omnibus bill, their Noodles, they own all these charts. These charts are their charts. They own all of it. So
there is a way, and it's possible to live without money, and we can barter for everything and screw the government. And that's what we should do.
Well, that's what a lot of people are going to do. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but I'm just saying that it's going to come to that because people are going to be caught. They're going to be put in situations they don't want to be put in. They're just they're going to be suffering, and it's a sad situation. But you know what? Some of it is. It's almost like a sad. The great Steve Bannon would say, another Greek tragedy, or as the Wombats would say, the music group, another Greek tragedy. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta have a tragedy to cover a tragedy.
Yeah, but you know what? They basically, the people on the other side were used, and they're owning these charts. Unfortunately, you voted for it. That's what you got. Unfortunately, you voted for it. I don't want to put these charts up there. I want to have happy charts. I wanted it all to be roses and everything like that. I didn't ask for this.
I'm wondering if the American people can possibly go up there and just say, "Hey, look, I could use a few bucks."
Well, they won't even let you past your trespassing. Remember?
Yeah, they'll probably arrest me and throw me in with the Sixers.
Oh, they probably will. That's the thing, is they'll do that. This is massive. This is from massive inflation, no growth, and the alphabet media is kicking the can down the road because they own these charts as well. The corporate media owns these charts. They're Noodles. They own them.
Yep,
they have to.
They don't speak the truth anymore like they're supposed to, and they will be held accountable.
Politico has been coming out with articles saying they're admitting this problem. One of your pension funds, CalPERS in California, that's for your bus drivers, things like that, your city worker, your workers, things like that. It lost $30 billion. So even Politico is picking up on this. Is like, it's not good.
Everybody's losing money, and the majority, although there are some innocent people getting taken out, a majority of them are part of the establishment that own everything, and that's what's going down for the most part. Look at FTX. You
played the game, they played you. Now you're going to own it. Unfortunately, I don't want to say that you're going to own it, but you are going to own this.
Yep, you're going to be held accountable. And this thing that this bill that they just passed, okay, they're already saying that we're going to feel it on the 1st. It's not even going to be like a delay factor at all. We're going to just, on the 1st, we're going to start feeling it. So, like I just said, my oil is going to be around $6 a gallon. And come Monday or Tuesday, who knows? It might be up to close to $7 by then.
Yep, and your debt ceiling's next. That's the next talk on January 3rd. After that, they're going to be talking about that. So there you go.
We just got to borrow $36 trillion, and we'll be right back in it. Okay.
The younger generation, if you're 20 to 35 and you're watching this, the politicians keep going like this. You will be worse off than a Russian serf, like we always say. This is going to bury you in financial debt. And
who got his training disease at 6 and he realized at 20 he didn't want it, and now you got to be out of here.
Yep. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. I don't want to say that you got used. A lot of us got used over the years in politics. But these charts matter, and it matters in stocks. It matters what you're trading. obviously it's affecting what you're trading. And I've been telling the shorts out there for the longest time, your shorties out there, I've been saying with the salute your shorts and stuff on the boards there, because a lot of people are warning them, are like, your day's coming, man, of playing around these short games, and their day of reckoning's coming too there, Noodles. They have no idea what's about to hit them either. I get tons of messages from other traders out there that are like, these guys are crazy with all their stuff and they're shorting, and they're gonna own this. And I'm like, yeah, they're gonna own it. They're gonna feel it, and it's gonna be bad. That's why we tell people don't get risky into these risky things.